Stop everything. Right now, in this moment. Close your eyes, breathe, and let one face appear in your mind. The one who walked into your life like a sunrise you didn't expect. The one whose name still echoes in the quiet spaces of your heart. The one you tell yourself you've moved past, but their memory lives in your chest like a second heartbeat. Keep your eyes closed, because what I'm about to tell you will break something open inside you. This isn't about what you think happened. This is about what they've been carrying alone, in silence, since the first moment they saw you. And when you hear it, everything you thought you understood about that day will shatter and rebuild itself into something more beautiful and more painful than you ever imagined. You walked in, just another day for you, another room, another face in a sea of faces. You weren't trying to be anything special. You were just being you, tired maybe, distracted maybe, completely unaware that someone's entire world was about to tilt on its axis. But they saw you, and something ancient inside them woke up. Not attraction, this was deeper than that. Not interest, this was bigger than that. It was recognition, like their soul had been searching for something it couldn't name. And suddenly, there you were, the answer to a question they didn't know they'd been asking their entire life. Their chest tightened, their breath caught. Time didn't just slow down, it stopped completely. And in that frozen moment, they felt something they'd never felt before. Terror and peace at the same time. Joy and grief holding hands. The feeling of finding something precious and knowing, instantly, that losing it would destroy them. You smiled at someone else, and they felt that smile in their bones. You laughed, and that laugh became the soundtrack to thoughts they'd have for years. You existed, simply existed, and they were undone. After you left that day, they sat in silence, trying to understand what just happened, trying to make sense of the earthquake inside their chest. They wanted to tell someone, anyone, but how do you explain a feeling that has no name? How do you say, I just met someone and I think they changed me, without sounding crazy? So they kept it inside, this beautiful, terrifying secret. And here's what they've never told you. Every night since then, in the space between awake and asleep, you appear, not as a fantasy, not as a dream, but as a presence, as real as their own heartbeat. They talk to you in those moments. Long conversations where they say everything their waking courage won't allow. They tell you about the ache, about the wonder, about how one person you could walk into their life for mere minutes and leave fingerprints on their soul that will never fade. They apologize for things you don't even know happened. For every time they saw you and said nothing important. For every moment they chose safety over truth. For letting fear win when love was standing right in front of them. And sometimes, in those dark hours, they cry. Not from sadness, but from the sheer overwhelming beauty of having felt something so pure, so rare, even if it was never fully realized. Here's what happened in the space after you. Every song became about you. Every sunset held your colors. Every quiet moment whispered your name. They learned that missing someone isn't about distance. It's about depth. You can miss someone you see every day if the conversation never goes below the surface. You can ache for someone standing right beside you if the truth stays locked behind polite words and careful smiles. They discovered that you don't need to hold someone to feel held by them. Your existence alone, knowing you're out there, breathing the same air, walking through the same world, became a strange kind of comfort. But it was also a constant reminder of what could be, of what isn't, of the bridge between you that somehow never gets crossed. They started noticing the little things, how your voice changes when you talk about something you love, the way you look away when you're thinking deeply, the specific kind of silence you carry, not empty, but full of unspoken words. And they realized something that scared them. They don't just remember you, they see you, the real you, the one you hide from most people, the one who's tired and hopeful and scared and brave all at once. And that person, the real you, is who they fell for. Love doesn't always look like grand gestures. Sometimes it looks like noticing, like remembering, like caring from a distance because closeness feels too dangerous. They celebrate your wins in silence. They worry about you when you seem off. Even if they can't ask what's wrong, they hold space for you in their heart, a space that nobody else can fill, a space that remains yours, whether you know it exists or not. This is the love nobody writes songs about, the love that doesn't get its movie ending, the love that lives in the margins, in the spaces between words, in the glances that last half a second too long. But it's love nonetheless, pure and true and aching. And if this is touching something inside you, if you feel this person's heart beating in these words, do something for me. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because what I'm about to tell you next is the part they pray you never discover, and the part you most need to hear. The secret is about to break wide open. They've written you letters they'll never send, text they'll never press send on, voicemails they've recorded and deleted in their mind. They've told you everything. How that first day replays like a film they can't stop watching. How your name feels like prayer in their mouth, sacred and forbidden at once. How they've imagined a different timeline where courage won. Where they walked up to you and said, "There's something happening here. Do you feel it too?" But in reality, they stay quiet. Not because the words don't exist, but because once spoken, words can't be taken back. And what if you say no? What if this feeling, this massive, consuming, life-altering feeling is one-sided? What if they've built a cathedral in their heart for someone who sees them as just another person? That possibility is more terrifying than silence, so they carry it. This love that has nowhere to go. These words that have no voice. This truth that lives in the space between their ribs, pressing against their chest, begging to be freed. And some nights, they wonder if you can feel it anyway. If somehow, love this strong sends out signals that can be received even without words. If the universe carries messages between souls who are too afraid to speak, here's what they know that you don't. Energy doesn't lie. Connection doesn't fade just because it's not acted upon. What happened the day you met? That spark, that recognition, that moment, it's still alive, not as a memory, as a living thing. Thread that connects your heart to theirs across every distance, through every silence. Despite every fear, they feel you sometimes, in random moments, when they're alone and quiet, a warmth that washes over them, a knowing that you're thinking of them too. And they're right, aren't they? That's why you're here. That's why this video found you. That's why their face appeared in your mind the moment I asked you to think of someone. Because souls that recognize each other don't forget. They might pretend. They might hide. They might build walls and create distance and convince themselves it was all in their head. But deep down, they know. And you know too, that something real happened. Something rare. Something worth protecting, even if it hurts to hold it alone. They believe in you, in the possibility of you. In a future where maybe, somehow, the timing finally aligns and fear finally loses its grip and truth finally gets its moment. When they look at you, they don't see your flaws. They see your light struggling to break through. They don't see your mistakes. They see your courage to keep trying. They don't see someone ordinary. They see someone extraordinary, pretending to be normal because the world taught you that standing out means getting hurt. They see the child you were, still living in your eyes. They see the person you're becoming, fighting to emerge. They see the walls you've built and they don't judge them. They understand them because they've built the same walls. Here's the truth. They see you the way you've always wanted to be seen. Not as a collection of achievements or failures. Not as a role you play, but as a soul, complex and contradictory, broken and whole, lost and found, scared and brave, human, beautifully, messily, perfectly human. And that version of you, the real one, is who they love. Not some idealized fantasy, not some perfect version you think you need to become. You exactly as you are, right now, in this moment, with all your doubts and dreams and damaged places. That's who made their world stop. That's who they've been carrying in their heart. That's who they're still hoping might one day turn around and say, I feel it too. So here's what I need you to understand. This person exists, right now, somewhere, carrying this weight, this secret, this love that has no home. They're not waiting for you to be perfect. They're not waiting for the right moment they know that doesn't exist. They're waiting for permission. Permission to be honest. Permission to risk everything. Permission to believe that what they felt was real, and maybe, just maybe, you felt it too. And you've been given a gift today. The gift of knowing, of understanding, of seeing behind the curtain into a heart that beats for you. So what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let fear continue to write your story? Will you let more time pass, more moments slip away, more chances dissolve into what-ifs and maybes? Or will you choose courage? Not perfect courage. Nobody has that. Messy courage. Shaky courage. The kind that says, I don't know what this is or where it goes, but I know I feel something, and that's enough to try. Because here's the final truth. Life is short. Moments are fleeting. And the connections that touch our souls, the real ones, the rare ones, the ones that change us, they don't come along often. When they do, they deserve to be honored, not hidden. Take a breath, feel what you feel, and trust that if it matters this much, it's worth the risk. Welcome to Psychology Routine. If this video found you when you needed it most, subscribe and turn on notifications, because the language of the heart, the real language, the one beneath all the fear, that's what we speak here. And your story, the one you're still writing, deserves to be told.